you have a very dangerous situation where people are getting shot, where you got to get out of the way of the ambulance. Then you've got a bunch of absolute degenerates dancing and jumping and climbing on a car. Nothing happens. No consequences whatsoever. I never want to hear about police brutality again. A lot of violence in our streets. There was a lot of violence on Juneteenth, our most sacred national feast day, Juneteenth. You know, as of about 8 minutes ago, Juneteenth is the National Independence Day. That's actually the name of the act, the Juneteenth National Independence Day Act. So the left contrives this holiday out of some local tradition in Galveston. They invent this whole new national holiday. And there was violence at Juneteenth celebrations. Juneteenth partiers shot up a celebration in Oakland, but that wasn't even the craziest part. You had about 5,000 people gathered at Lake Merritt in Oakland, California to celebrate Juneteenth, and 7 people get shot at this celebration. Gosh, sure got rowdy. Then an ambulance shows up, and the feastgoers started twerking on the ambulance. You can see, I mean, they're trying to like wheel people into this ambulance, and there's a young woman multiple young women. Yeah, there we go, twerking on men on the ambulance. Everyone filming it, probably making it pretty tough to put the injured people into the ambulance. Filming, laughing. Then some guy just jumps up, climbs on top of the ambulance. Yeah, he's throwing a football. That looks fun. Throwing a football. They're trying to like be nice, maybe. You know, when I see an ambulance behind me in traffic, I usually pull to the shoulder of the road because I want to make sure I don't want to impede the ambulance's journey. But these guys didn't want the ambulance to impede their ability to grind on one another and dance on a car and throw a football. I mention this not only because I think the Juneteenth national holiday is a farce and a very bad idea, but also because I never want to hear about police brutality again. Okay? I never want to hear about over-incarceration and all these, and, you know, the white supremacist law enforcement. You saw this the other day, actually. There were people twerking on a cop car in, where was it, Chicago or New York? And the car kept driving. They're like, get off the car, stop it. But they're not really doing anything about it. You have a very dangerous situation where people are getting shot, where people need to be taken back to the hospital, where you got to get out of the way of the ambulance. Then you've got a bunch of absolute degenerates dancing and jumping and climbing on a car. Nothing happens. No consequences whatsoever. You've got crime spiking right now in cities around the country, notably Chicago, where shootings and murders are up 50%. And what happens? No one does it. They all complain about police brutality on the left. They all complain about the over-incarceration. We have a severe under-incarceration problem in this country. Just by definition, if crime is spiking, if criminals are running free on the street, then we are under-incarcerating people. We need criminal justice reform to put more criminals in prison. It's not going to happen, though. BLM rioters are getting completely off the hook. I mean, we talked about it either yesterday or the previous episode on this show. In the Bronx, the majority of BLM terrorists they're just having the cases dismissed. The looters, the rioters, just doesn't matter. Now, if you go and dance on Nancy Pelosi's desk in a horn helmet, then you're going to get the book thrown at you. You're probably going to go to Gitmo. But if you shoot up parties, if you dance on ambulances and cop cars, if you riot in city after city after city and you loot stores, totally fine. Does that seem fair to you? Does that seem like the sort of civilized society where everyone's playing by the rules and we can engage in the free marketplace of ideas? I'm not so sure about that. Never wrestle with a pig. That's the title of the whole episode. I'm glad you liked that clip, but you can watch the entire episode right here on YouTube. Subscribe, ring the bell, you'll get the notifications. You can get it at the Michael Knowles Show audio podcast on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, all those places. And you can order my brand new book, just released yesterday, Speechless, Controlling Words, Controlling Minds. See you next time.